Nation, welcome to the Edelman Report. Today I want to talk about insulin pumps, the difference between the traditional pumps and the new patch pumps. First of all, as a background, insulin pumps are primarily used in people with type 1 diabetes, but also they can also be used quite successfully for people with type 2 diabetes who are on a multiple daily injection regimen. Now, here is an example of a traditional pump. This is the Animas pump for an example. The insulin goes through the tubing, through a catheter that gets connected to the body. And you have the tubing. And a patch pump, you pull off the little stickies, you fill it up with insulin, you put it on, and in fact, that's the kind, I wear the Omnipod myself, there it is. And you control the functions of the pump through a wireless controller, whereas with a traditional pump, you control it basically on the pump itself. Now, what are the pros and cons of each? First of all, I want to say it comes down to personal choice. One is not better than others, but here are some of the things that I think about. With the traditional pump, people can disconnect. And that's a good thing, it's a convenient thing, but some patients disconnect too long. If you have fast-acting insulin in your pump, your blood sugar starts to go up pretty quickly. With a traditional patch pump, once it's on for the whole time, and you cannot disconnect it. So that's actually good for that part of the thing. Now, no tubing or defective catheters. Through the years, there have been companies that make defective catheters where the insulin comes out through a seal and it's not going in the body, and guess what happens when that occurs? Your blood sugars start to go up. No issues here because a little catheter just sticks out the bottom. Number 3, patients are forced to change their insulin every 3 days. Your insulin starts to become denatured after 3 days. So some people with this system, the traditional pump, the insulin can go, you can use it for 6-7 days, especially if you're using a little bit of insulin. With a patch pump, it holds 200 units, and at the end of 80 hours, it turns off and you have to put a new one on. Now, what are some of the downsides of a patch pump? If you forget this controller, guess what? You can't give yourself a bolus of insulin. You're getting your basal rate, but you can't give yourself squirts. And this also acts as my glucose tester. Then you don't have your glucose tester as well. And lastly, as I mentioned a second ago, these expire after 80 hours. You could be on a desert island and be desperate for insulin. This will turn off at 80 hours. Just to let you know, if you have an insulin syringe, you can suck out some insulin from the catheter, the reservoir, and still give yourself a shot. Lastly, every responsible pump user, whether you're using a traditional pump or a patch pump, should carry an insulin pen in case something happens to your pump. Have a good day, Nation.